Well, what is up, you dudes? It is I, your boy H-Boy, with part 2 of my Mer-may Special of the H2O chat. So, let's get back to it. So, as I was saying in the earlier episode, I was talking about the episode Something Fishy, which I was criticizing for being a very mundane episode. Anyway, so as I was saying, what I was saying earlier is I didn't like how mundane it was because of the simple ending, and I also hated how they just didn't seem so jittery, as if they didn't want to do it. So as I was saying earlier, what happened was Elliot was about to chuck the water at her.
Because you're my sister.
Elliot was about to chuck the water at her, but then he stopped, as I just showed you. Let me show it to you again. So see, as soon as she looks over, he just stops. What should have happened, if you ask me, was he should have just, as soon as she looked over, just took the wand and just right at her. Then she would have had to run. However, Kim, in the animated series, Kim did chuck her, which she did run, but I'm surprised Elliot didn't want to do this, especially if he wanted an answer. So that's one reason why I don't like this episode. He's too jittery. And now here's the second part that bothers me. Watch this. Okay, you can see the suspicious. Yeah. There's, as you know, Miriam Kent. She looked cuter in the original in the animated series. She also thinks Kim's a mermaid. I mean, Miriam's a mermaid, because here's the thing: they don't want Miriam to win. They wanted to get her humiliated. So that's the one reason why they did that. But now keep going, and then watch this. She did that to make him think to throw off her scent. Now here's the part that bothers me. Notice how she has a big jellyfish hat. That's essentially what causes it to end. Now watch this. When she finally sprays her, she uses a mixture of the powers and the mermaid hat to not get. Well, she does use the powers, because originally I thought it was just the hat, but it was a mixture of the hat and the powers, which was pretty awesome, I must say. However, I did. So as I said, that I did like, but I preferred it better in the spin-off, in the animated series, where they essentially, they made it better by actually have her getting distracted, and she actually dunked her hand in the water, but used her power to create a barrier. Well, she did do that in the series. This, she did it right in front of the sister, that way to throw off her scent completely. So I liked how. So this episode, I didn't like the mundane solution. However, I must say it wasn't as mundane as I originally thought it was. Once someone on Reddit pointed out that she did use her powers, so that I must say. And now and another thing that I found mundane in this episode was a roller coaster on top of a stage is incredibly dangerous. And not only that, how the heck did the sister not notice this? Look at this. Tell me you don't see this. See how that's up there? Or do you not see how that's up there? Oh, wait. No, right here. Notice how she's listening, and see how the fish is all the way up there while she's cleaning the tank? She walks in, and assuming that's making noise, and why on earth did she not look up? Even when she glanced up, she would have looked up with her. Like, whenever someone suspiciously looks around, my first instinct is to look around. And wouldn't you have heard the bubbling sound? Like, is it making any noise?
Yeah.
Wait, cut back to... Wouldn't you have heard the glub glub of the fish, especially the pitter patter? Like, especially considering how big the room is, she must have seen it in a peripheral vision or something. You gotta admit. So you see, very mundane. Not only that, then there was an episode where Emma used her freezing powers to help the water, to help Elliot win. And what's weird is no one was suspicious. However, this could be because Elliot was just too happy he won to give a care. But if that was the case, then I totally understand. But if it wasn't the case, then he's just an idiot. So that's what I have to say about that. So I think there's one more thing I have to say about this series. It used to air on Nick, and I remember back when I first saw it without context. The first episode I saw was the Locket episode. You know, the one where Miriam stole a locket. And I remember it was a clip on the Nickelodeon, on the Teen Nick website, where it happened in the first series, the first season, if I remember correctly. And what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. It was the episode where she got the locket, and the problem was when Miriam found the locket, because what happened was, it turns out it was the locket originally belonged to the old biddy, but it ended up getting sold somehow to a jewelry shop. And then Miriam bought it, causing Ricky and Miriam to get in a fight over it. However, since that was the first episode I saw, I didn't really, know about the locket. Now here's the problem. Since that was the first episode, I really didn't. First episode, that was the only clip I saw. So when they started fighting over the locket, I thought it was because back then I was more interested. I thought it was just fighting because she wanted the locket and the other guy got it. It was like girl trouble because, well, what you expect. Not seeing much of the show, I can't really say much. Anyway, which episode was that? Let me see if I can find which episode was that. Oh yeah, it was the Red Locket episode. Let me see if I can find that episode. The Red Locket. If I can find that episode, I will show it to you. I'll show you the fight scene, and then I'll just take a look. Yeah, that way you have some context. Then once you have it, I'll show it to you, and then that will be that. I would like to let you know it might show an ad at first, but what can I say? I have no control over ads. I'm not gonna get. It's life. They gotta make their money somehow. Don't blame them. Anyway, let me cut to the locket scene, the locket fight scene, and then after I show you the locket fight scene, I guess I'll end the video. Anyway, where's the locket scene? No, it's farther in. Okay, and you know that's the old biddy. Enough about the old biddy. Ignore her. And that hideous man. And then...
You're making it worse.
Okay, you're right about... What scene was it?
Yeah.
Okay, not here.
Did I pop?
I remember it happening late in the episode. No, it doesn't happen there. When does it happen?
That must have been really hot.
Because you know that's talking about how the old biddy got her powers and then so on and yada. Right here. This is the locket fighting scene I was talking about. So it was on the Nickel, because this was before I had a YouTube channel. I didn't watch YouTube much back then. I mostly watched Nick.com videos and whatnot. And this is the locket scene I was talking about.
Do you like it when you look it?
Watch what happens.
Beautiful.
She sees it, and it kicks in, and now she just gets in a fight, which is kind of ridiculous.
Ricky?
They just stare at each other,
Now I remember.
and then watch what happens.
Today told me about
Girl
how much
fight.
you loved it. That's why I was
I like how she's just staring at her, and then she just gets into it. Kind of nasty. So I thought she just because you know she said Zane wanted. I thought she just wanted it because, well, and that's what happens. She just gets into a fight. So I thought it was because of a simple girl fight because she wanted the locket, but it turns out it's because it originally belonged to the old biddy and she wanted to give it back and blah 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 blah. So anyway, that's all I can say about that. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. That was my first Mer-may video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.